Beichen. I am already a shadow-level powerhouse, preparing to usurp the throne and become the clan leader. As a result, the system came. The strongest comparison video system. The world changed by the traverse and the native Naruto world are compared to each other. Looking at the changed world and the original world, which world is better between these two timelines? A successful comparison will earn rewards. The Night of Usurpation versus the Night of Extermination. Dawn Plan versus Kiba Collapse Plan. In the world changed by the Transmigrator, Uchiha was not destroyed, all kinds of tragedies were changed, and the realm of ninja finally achieved unity. After watching the comparison, the people in Naruto world fell silent. Yuzhibo. MD. We need Yuzhibo Beichen. Big filial son, get out of here. Kiba. Damn F4, get out of here. We need Beichen. Renjie. 6 immortals or something for me to climb. We want Beichen. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. It's already at the shadow level, the old 6 system just came. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Ninja Realm, suburban area outside my village, Uchiha clan gathering square. Sitting on the 6th chair on the high platform, Beichen became more subtle as he watched the crowd below. Yuzhibo Beichen is 12 years old this year. A traveler without a tag, no, that was before, now there is looking at the cheat called comparative video system in his mind. Beichen fell into contemplation. I have already reached the shadow level and am preparing to become the clan leader. Did you tell me that the system came? The so-called comparative video system refers to playing 2 sets of videos simultaneously, one from one's own world and the other from another primitive ninja realm. Then, a comparison will be made between 2 different events and characters from different worlds, and the system will evaluate whether the changes made by this traveler will make the world a better place based on the audience's senses. If the comparison is successful, he can randomly obtain some of the things that have appeared in the video, including but not limited to blood succession limit, ninjutsu, and ninja tools. This is not the most fatal thing yet. The most fatal thing is that the comparison video system is counting down. At the critical moment when he was about to rebel, this foolish system was going to cause trouble. 10 9 3 2 1. Boom. A buzzing sound echoed in the minds of all ninjas with chakras inside, just like someone creating a world of chaos in their minds. A huge canopy appeared in the minds of all ninjas. The strongest comparison system has arrived. This comparison. The Night of Usurpation versus the Night of Extermination. Yuzhibo Beichen versus Yuzhibo Itachi. Note 1. This video will cover the future, please watch it rationally. Note 2. This time, the main focus is on the perspectives of 2 protagonists, the first world Uchiha Itachi and the second world Uchiha Beichen. Note 3. The video has enabled barrage mode. Lower ninja can send 1 barrage per week, middle ninja can send 1 barrage per day, upper ninja can send 1 barrage per hour, and there is no limit on shadow level or above. As the blood red warning font faded from the screen, the blurry image gradually became more realistic. The video played is divided into 2 parts, the one on the left is Uchiha Itachi from the first world, and the one on the right is Uchiha Beichen from the second world. On the screen, Yuzhibo Itachi is approximately 3 years old, and Yuzhibo Beichen on the right is also around 3 years old. At this time, both of them are extracting chakras for the first time. In the second variant of the ninja realm, everyone in the hall looked at Beichen in shock. As for Uchiha Itachi standing in the corner, only a few people glanced at him. During this period, Jishui has already died, and many people suspect that it was Yuzhibo Itachi who did it. Therefore, the attitude towards this young tribal leader is divided into 2 factions. The moderate believe that Uchiha Itachi killed Uchiha Shizuki, while the iron-blooded believe that it was the genius from Kiba who killed Uchiha. But no matter what the two groups of people think, the core character of Uchiha Itachi is somewhat unpopular. Feeling the gaze of everyone, Beichen could only pretend to know nothing. "Don't look at me like that, I don't know anything. Maybe you can ask the big filial piety in the corner." "No, it's Itachi. You can ask Itachi." Yuzhibo Fuyue, who clearly knew how talented Beichen was, asked in confusion. "Is it really not you who caused it?" Without even thinking about it, Beichen shook his head and said, "Don't tease me. I can assure you that this thing definitely doesn't just appear in our minds. As mentioned above, including all the ninjas in the ninja world, I don't have that much ability. Keep watching. Listen to that mysterious voice saying that this video may also involve the future." "Root, did you also feel it?" Tuanzang asked the ninja next to him coldly. "Yes, Lord Tuanzang." Tuanzang angrily tapped the floor with his cane, leaning on it. "Is this an illusion? It's Uchiha again. What a damn Uchiha. Kingdom of Thunder, Yunin Rensuan, do you also have that comparison video in your mind?" Fourth generation Lei Ying turned her head and asked the blonde beauty next to her. Sammy's face was also solemn as he said, "Yes, I also have something like a video in my mind. Through my exploration just now, I found that we can actually independently close or open this video. As for sending barrage or something, it's too high. Profile, I didn't try it." The careful Sam Abi discovered more than the fourth generation Raiden. The first primitive ninja realm. In the council hall of the Uchiha tribe, hundreds of patients with red-eye disease stared fixedly at the Uchiha weasel in the corner. A arrogant Uchiha asked his companions, "Strange. Who is Uchiha Beichen? Why haven't we heard of this name?" "That's right, Master Itachi is the son of the clan leader." "Who is this Beichen? We haven't heard of him at all." The other licking dog immediately agreed. Yuzhibo Itachi Kuriko interjected displeased, "Let's not say it anymore. The suspicion of him killing Master Jishue has not been cleared yet." Yuzhibo Fuyue watched the video in his mind with uncertainty. He doesn't know whose pen this is, another ninja realm. This is too unbearable to learn. Ninjas with extremely low cultural education obviously cannot accept the setting of parallel universes for a while. Huiying office. After taking out the ninja file and flipping through it for half a day, Ape Flying Sun finally accepted a fact. That's because there isn't even a man named Yuzhibo Beichen in their village. Another issue with difficulty sleeping and eating is the accumulation of clumps at the roots. After searching through all the information about ninjas since the establishment of Muba village, Tuanzang was shocked to find that there was no one named Uchiha Beichen in their village. Does that mean that there really exists another world just like your own? And yet another world has an extra Uchiha. The second variant of the ninja realm, the monkey flying sun slayer in the Hokage office, looked tense, and the voices of the Uchiha family wanting to rebel grew louder and louder. At this moment, he dared not take anything about Uchiha lightly. Another tolerance world just like this world, Yuzhibo Gemini big variables. Monkey flying sun sighed leisurely. Although I am puzzled about the origin of the mysterious video in my mind, Ape Flying Sun / does not suspect that it was created by Yuzhibo. Since the war subsided, he has always regarded Uchiha as a hypothetical enemy, and he is too aware of Uchiha's abilities. Yuzhibo can't have this ability. But the name Yuzhibo Beichen makes Ape Flying Sun / have to be cautious. One of the twin stars of Uchiha, Orochimaru, was even considered a confidant before he defected, and the way they interacted was both a teacher and a friend. It is not difficult to see from this that the man named Yuzhibo Beichen is unfathomable. After all, being recognized by the Cold Army's Orochimaru is a treatment that doesn't even have a yellow flash. Chapter 2. Video Comparison System. New Book Seeking Freshness. You are listening at novelfull.audio. As everyone had their own thoughts, the video began to slowly progress, and 3-year-old Beichen began to contemplate the essence of chakra when he first thought about it. Watching the video, Junyi Zhengtai, who was sitting in place thinking, couldn't stand the two worlds of Tsunade and Asami. Isn't this little ghost from the Uchiha family too handsome? This Uchiha family is truly a family that produces handsome guys in the ninja world. They are so handsome at such a young age. However, the four people from both worlds did not itch to send barrage shots. Now everything is a mystery, and elite ninjas like Tsunade would not do things like shooting a bird with a gun. On the other hand, 3-year-old Uchiha Itachi also began his first chakra extraction. As the timeline in the video rapidly advances, the visuals of the video reach the age of 4 for the two individuals. Beichen is still so ordinary, except for extracting chakras, he stays in the library of the Yuzhibo tribe to read books. At the age of 4, Uchiha Itachi was taken to the battlefield by his father. Its name was Uchiha Itachi's trial, which aimed to test Uchiha Itachi's strength. Let a 4-year-old child go to the battlefield, just like Yuzhibo Fuyue did. Others say that Yuzhibo's family often has mental illnesses or something, but Beichen thinks it can be understood. After all, others have not scolded him wrong. A normal father would never have such a brain circuit. When they saw this scene, the Uchiha people all had a proud expression on their faces. After all, the 4-year-old child on the screen who went to the battlefield was the young leader of the Uchiha tribe. Although the young clan leader's buttocks have been sitting a bit crooked recently, at least it can still represent the glory of the Uchiha clan. In the Uchiha family, glory is greater than anything. Feeling the same sense of honor from those people downstairs, Beichen couldn't help but sneer in his heart. Now you can be happy for a while longer. When the Xiaozi raises his butcher's knife, I hope you can still be as happy as you are now. At this time, people gradually adapted to the videos in their minds and began to have the courage to send barrage messages. Let such a young child go to the battlefield. Isn't it irresponsible for Yuzhibo Fuyue to be a father? Sure enough. Yuzhibo is full of neurosis. How could a father treat his child like this? You fart upstairs. This is the cultivation of the young clan leader by the clan leader. You trash don't understand. Going to the battlefield at the age of 5 is something unimaginable even in the Warring States period, right? Even the third-generation Hokage only allowed 6-year-old children to go to the battlefield, and Yuzhibo Fuyue did have some brain problems. What is the name upstairs? I have already reported it to the Huiying building. Beichen silently shifted his gaze to below. Yes, it was him who had just brought the rhythm of the old monkey. As a traveler and also a Uchiha, is it normal for Kuriko to be the will of fire? The monkey flying sun slayer, who was already somewhat displeased by the inexplicable video, was completely upset when he saw the barrage sent by Beichen. Where did this bastard come from? Which pot doesn't open and which pot is picked up, right? Ape Flying Sun's heart was filled with hatred and itching, but he didn't jump out to explain anything. After all, this kind of thing gets darker and darker as it gets described. Ignoring the barrage of noisy comments, Beichen frowned as he watched the video continue to progress. Fortunately, some parts of this video were just briefly mentioned, otherwise his intelligence would have been exposed a bit too much. In this ghostly place of the ninja world, one's own intelligence is very important. From the name of this video, Beichen probably guessed the content of the video. The thought of his usurpation plan about to be exposed left Beichen speechless in his heart. Spicy chicken system. If you don't go online for 12 years, you'll be fooling me as soon as you go online. As Uchiha Itachi continued to slaughter on the battlefield, the 5-year-old Uchiha Itachi surprisingly awakened his Sharingan. Now everyone who knows about Yuzhibo can't sit still. What is the concept of opening an eye at the age of 5? The time when Shura Uchiha in the ninja realm opened his eyes is 12 years old. At the age of 5, what kind of demon is this? For this point, Beichen only pursed his lips, but he also had to admit that the aptitude of Yuzhibo Itachi was truly exceptional. At the age of 5, he opens his eyes, and at the age of 12, he opens a kaleidoscope. If it weren't for Uchiha's Azura chakra cheating, Uchiha Itachi's talent would definitely be able to crush Uchiha. However, others may not be clear about it, but Beichen, who is very knowledgeable about his own bloodline, knows that the order of opening his eyes does not actually represent a person's qualifications. The most classic representatives are Daitu and Uchiha. Yuzhibo will not mention it for now. The time when he opened his eyes with dirt is after graduation, but his impressive feature is that he opened his eyes directly from Erguyu to the kaleidoscope. This is what's called a pervert. Oh my goodness! What did I see? Young Master Yuzhibo Itachi opened his eyes at the age of 5, what a talent. It's unbelievable. Long live the Itachi young master. He must be able to lead us Uchiha back to the peak. Uchiha from both worlds are cheering for Uchiha Itachi. However, the faces of Uchiha Itachi from both worlds were not very attractive at the moment. A group of foolish people. They only know the pursuit of power, completely unaware that the meaning of power lies in guarding. Yuzhibo Itachi looked at the happy tribe with disdain in his heart. Anoki's face turned black as he watched the video of Uchiha Itachi opening his eyes. He gritted his teeth and cursed softly, this evil little ghost of Uchiha is really terrifying. He opened his eyes at the age of 5, and this is probably another ninja world cultivator. At the same time, the thoughts of the shadows in other villages are similar to those of the earth shadows, and they are extremely wary of the Uchiha Itachi, even including the 3 generations of fire shadow ape flying sun slaying, which have certain concerns. There's no way, Yuzhibo Itachi's performance in the video is really demonic. The plot in the video is still progressing slowly. At the age of 6, Beichen applied for early graduation and became a student of Orochimaru, the Hokage master. At this time, it seems that Beichen is completely unqualified to compare with Yuzhibo Itachi. After all, Yuzhibo Itachi opened his eyes at the age of 5, while Beichen did not graduate until he was 6 years old. The difference between the two sides seems to be quite large. The second variant of the ninja world, Uchiha, felt regretful upon seeing this scene. They were also very happy when they found out that Beichen was being taught by Orochimaru. After all, that is one of the 3 ninjas and has the potential to become the existence of Hokage. Okay, why did it suddenly become rebellious? Almost everyone within the Uchiha clan is sighing in their hearts about this matter. Huiying office building, monkey flying sun slayer also sighed, a hint of guilt flashed on his face. Others didn't know, could he, who is a Huiying, not be clear? Orochimaru is completely hiding the blame for his old friends. After all, the initiators of those taboo experiments are not Orochimaru. However, it cannot be said that Orochimaru is completely out of touch. The two of them have colluded in collusion, it's just that Orochimaru has taken all the blame. This is also the reason why he let go of Orochimaru when he was soft-hearted. Thinking of this, Monkey Flying Sun's conscience felt much better. Chapter 3. Comparison of Yuzhibo Beichen and Yuzhibo Itachi. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The first primitive ninja realm's Uchiha was puzzled, as they were certain that there was no one in their clan named Uchiha Beichen, let alone Uchiha who studied under Orochimaru. Yuzhibo Fuyue spoke out to appease the noisy tribe below. Our family does not have the name Yuzhibo Beichen, but there is another world called Yuzhibo. Perhaps this is where there is some deviation between the two worlds. Upon hearing the comfort of his own clan leader, Uchiha from the first primitive ninja realm felt lost in thought. Where will this extra Uchiha take Uchiha's wind? In the video on the left, the Xiaozi has already begun to contemplate the meaning of life. In the picture, it is the funeral of a hero organized by Kiba. The young Itachi asked Orochimaru, who had already embarked on the path of seeking eternal life, about his doubts. Lord Orochimaru, what do you mean by the meaning of life? The meaning of life lies in living. Life is too fragile, only eternal life has meaning. The young Uchiha Itachi has developed the ability to think independently and does not fully agree with Orochimaru's words, so he did not answer or say anything more. The second variant is the ninja realm, located in the Inran village laboratory. Really, even this kind of thing has been exposed. Orochimaru murmured to himself with some displeasure. Now he clearly only wants to pursue immortality in a low-key way. Thinking of this, Orochimaru sighed with resentment and said, I don't know where that guy from Beichen has gone. He finally met someone with similar aspirations, but unfortunately, that guy still hasn't broken free from the constraints of his family. Many people do not agree with Orochimaru's words, among which the heavyweight is Inoki. This big snake pill is simply misleading. What is the meaning of life in eternal life? The meaning of life is to guard it. Seeing that Inoki had personally come to an end, Ape Flying Sun dared to send barrage. Yenying is right, the meaning of life lies in guarding. Guarding is the essence of the will of fire. Fire also thrives endlessly. The flames will continue to illuminate the village and sprout new leaves. Watching the third generation who actually promoted their will to fire in the video, Beichen couldn't help but feel overwhelmed. After all, he is a staunch anti-fire person. Lord Huiying is right. Sometimes when the fire is too strong, it can easily burn off tender shoots. However, it is also a good thing to bring spring to the old tree. After all, those tender shoots you sent to the battlefield will burn and illuminate your 4 old wall lamps. The monkey flying sun slayer, who was preparing to continue promoting the will of fire, turned black again when he saw the familiar barrage. Who the hell is this black spot? MD, don't let me find you. Inoki. Third generation Hokage is still possible. After all, in the Third Ninja World War, Monkey was the only shadow sitting in the village, defeating 1,000 miles away. Looking at Inoki in the group, Ape Flying Sun's face turned even darker. After a wave of rhythm, Beichen continued to watch the video. During the Third World War, it was okay to have children who had not yet graduated go to the battlefield. However, in less than 10 years, during the Fourth World War of Ninja, the monkey flying family was able to pull out 3,000 ninjas. What is this special concept? As the largest clan of Kiba, the Uchiha family has no more than 500 ninjas in total. In the picture on the right, Uchiha Itachi is still contemplating life, while 7-year-old Uchiha Beichen has obtained the contract of Longdi Cave and begins to explore the immortal mode of Longdi Cave. Orochimaru squinted his eyes as he looked at Beichen practicing immortal mode on the screen. This incident scared him a lot back then. Genius is always dazzling, Beichen Jun, are you ready to shake the entire ninja world, whispered Orochimaru with a seductive tone. Yuzhibo Itachi. Ha! He's just a fool with some qualifications, he can't be compared to a true genius at all. On the left, the 7-year-old Uchiha Itachi also became a ninja and began to receive teachings on stopping water, heading towards the path of the will of fire that never returns. As the video transitions slowly, viewers also notice that there is something wrong with the two main characters on the screen. Some knowledgeable people were surprised to find that neither of the two protagonists in the video seemed to care much about their family. Yuzhibo and Beichen are all focused on studying the immortal mode of Longdi Cave, completely ignoring the deepening conflicts between the family and the village. Not to mention the family, Yuzhibo Beichen doesn't even care about the village. And Yuzhibo Itachi went even further. After being influenced by Yuzhibo Jishue, Yuzhibo Itachi actually began to question his family. In the picture, a monologue by Uchiha Itachi is playing. Do you know what the will of fire is? Why don't you people understand the hard work of Lord Hokage? Thinking all day long about what Kiba owes you. This arrogant clan. In an inexplicable race. Everyone in the village hates Uchiha, it's not those arrogant fools in the clan who caused it. Why can't you coexist peacefully with the villagers? The Xiaozi increasingly looked down upon the members of his own family, feeling that they were arrogant and talked about the glory of the so called Uchiha all day long, without any will to fire in his heart. These foolish and arrogant guys have no idea that Kiba is everyone. Yuzhibo is just a small family's principle. Without a village, where would a family come from? Listening to Uchiha Itachi's inner monologue, both members of the Uchiha family and others in the ninja realm felt a chill in their hearts. What kind of nonsense is this? Although Yuzhibo in the video is a bit arrogant, he's not that bad, is he? Indeed. Although the members of the Uchiha family are proud, they are still very reliable on the battlefield. On the battlefield, teams with Uchiha usually have a high survival rate, unless that Uchiha sacrifices. These common people in Kiba also have serious illnesses, but it doesn't seem like we can blame them either. I remember Uchiha seems to be Kiba's security team, and it seems normal for common people to dislike him, right? I support Uchiha Itachi. He broke free from the limitations of his family and viewed the problem from a greater perspective. He is the true sober one. Uchiha Itachi, coupled with his age, has developed the thinking of Hokage. He is worthy of respect. At this moment, Monkey Flying Sun / had to stand up and speak to Uchiha Itachi. Such a good knife, if it jumps backwards because of this damn video, it will be troublesome. As the video progressed, Beichen, who was solely focused on research, did not receive much attention. But De Xiaozi welcomed the attention ceremony of nearly 200 pairs of red eyes. The Yuzhibo people, who had a single brain, obviously did not expect their own young clan leader to see them in this way. Sitting in the position of clan leader, Yuzhibo Fuyue also felt a bit awkward. After all, his own son's ideas were indeed somewhat questionable. Yuzhibo Fuyue, who was restless, could only grit his teeth and continue watching the video. As for the reactions of the people below, Uchiha Fuyue selectively went blind. First Primitive Ninja Realm. The cheers that were still clamoring for the longevity of Uchiha Itachi gradually cooled down, and the gaze at Uchiha Itachi became more complex. Some people feel angry, thinking that such thoughts like Uchiha Itachi are simply insulting them. Some people feel confused, are we really too proud? But what's wrong with pursuing glory? Do the common people of Kiba dislike us? Isn't that because our law enforcement is ruthless? The video is still advancing. Beichen's talent as a traveler has finally been demonstrated after receiving sufficient theoretical knowledge. Finally, in the second half of the year at the age of 7, Uchiha Beichen, who was less than 8 years old, learned the immortal mode of Longdi Cave. This time, the whole world was shocked. Chapter 4. Strongest Qualifications versus Strongest Talents. Seeking. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ordinary ninjas may not know what magic represents, but as high-level officials in various ninja villages, how could they not have collected intelligence about magic? Throughout the world of ninja, only 2.5 have learned the immortal mode. The first one is the thousand-handed pillar, known as the god of the ninja realm. The second one is the 4th generation fire shadow wave feng shui gate, known as the yellow flash. That half, of course, is a hero from one of the 3 ninjas of Konoha. Now, the 4th one has appeared. And I learned it at the age of 7. What? Such a terrifying talent makes almost everyone who knows what magic is shudder. The second variant of the ninja realm, damn it. Yuzhibo Beichen has actually learned magic. Orochimaru hasn't told me yet. In the Huiying office, Ape Flying Sun/'s face turned pale with anger. It is not difficult to see from the video that Yuzhibo and Beichen have no will to fire in their hearts. If there is a conflict between Yuzhibo and the village, it is best if the other party is unrelated, and they may even stand on Yuzhibo's side. Thinking of this, does Monkey Flying Sun/ feel a bit uneasy sitting and standing? The same thing happened in the office at the base, because like the Monkey Flying Sun/, Tanzo also stated that he had not heard Orochimaru mention this matter. Compared to Kiba, the people of other ninja villages are more gloating. After all, discerning people can see that Uchiha and Kiba are not united, and there may even be a civil war. At this time, Uchiha, who was in a disadvantaged position, had such a genius. It should be the senior management of Kiba who should be the one to be headache-stricken. Thinking of this, both Inoki in the 4th generation Raikage mood has improved significantly. The first primitive ninja realm. This talent, fortunately this person is not in our world. Monkey Flying Sun / looked at the 7-year-old boy on the screen who had learned the immortal mode with joy. If such a Uchiha appeared in Kiba, I would definitely have difficulty sleeping and eating, right? Thinking of this, Ape Flying Sun / thought of himself in another parallel world. Will that Monkey Flying Sun Slayer be like himself in this world? Same greatness, same intelligence. Monkey Flying Sun / felt that he was never weaker than humans throughout his life. When he was young, he was a qualified ninja male. When he was in danger, he led Kiba to win the Second Ninja World War. This can be considered old and a qualified politician. Not only did he lead Kiba to win the Third Ninja War, but he also maintained peace to this day. Although it is inevitable to make some sacrifices in the middle, I believe they can also understand making some sacrifices for peace, right? After all, this is the will of fire. The video is still constantly moving forward. Whether it's Yuzhibo Itachi or Yuzhibo Beichen, their strength is constantly increasing. Yuzhibo Itachi is still doing the village mission as before, while using his proud Hokage thinking about the relationship between the village and Yuzhibo. Compared to always staying by the side of Orochimaru and nestled in the laboratory, Uchiha Itachi is more active on the battlefield, and his combat skills are also increasing day by day. Until they were 8 years old. After 4 years of accumulated knowledge, the talent of Beichen's traveler finally began to transform into strength. Mai has been around for 55 years. 8-year-old Beichen created the first secret technique that belonged only to him through the combination of immortal magic and wiping carrots. That's the ultimate in physical training. Its name is Ryoku Immortal Thief. Ryoku refers to the 6 organs in the human body that absorb energy. Based on this, create a perfect digestive system that can instantly decompose ingested substances and convert absorbed nutrients into chakras through circulation. By attaching saliva to the user's chakra, it can have a deadly corrosive effect on all objects, especially organic matter. Due to its ability to perfectly consume nutrients, users will hardly age, their energy will become more vigorous, and their scent will disappear. The second variant of the ninja realm, this Monkey Flying Sun stood up from the chair with a swoop and greedily looked at Beichen on the screen. Users hardly ever age. Isn't this immortality? Thinking of his aging body, Ape Flying Sun / realized that he needed this technique too much. With this secret technique, I will fight to the death for Mai. But soon, Ape Flying Sun / realized the key to it. Xianshu Chakra. Seeing this, the Monkey Flying Sun / was like a deflated ball, spreading back onto the chair. In the immortal mode, this threshold alone is enough to shut out 99% of the people in the entire ninja realm. Root Tuanzang looked coldly at Beichen on the screen. Tuanzang, who is not very talented, hates those geniuses very much, and even more so, those geniuses from Uchiha. Ji Shuei, Yuzhibo Itachi. Now there is another Uchiha Beichen. Tuanzang feels that the 6 immortals are unfair. Why does the evil Uchiha always give birth to geniuses? Especially during this period, the older generation of strong people in the village have already aged, while the new generation of strong people have not yet grown up. What about Yuzhibo? The geniuses in the family can be said to be one after another, first Jishuei, then Yuzhibo Itachi and Beichen. It is said that Yuzhibo Itachi's younger brother also has excellent talent. Thinking of this, Tuanzang became even more gloomy. Tuanzang, holding his crutch tightly, thought with great determination in his heart, evil Uchiha. I will definitely eliminate your unstable factor, teacher. I will prove to you that I am right. Inren village Orochimaru also looked in surprise at the secret technique created by Beichen on the screen called Ryoku Immortal Thief. He doesn't even know this secret technique. Ryoku Immortal Thief. Almost never grows old. I didn't expect you to achieve immortality at the age of 7. Unfortunately, it's just immortality. Thinking of his immortal reincarnation technique, Orochimaru's mood became much happier. Beichen only achieved immortality, but he truly achieved immortality. This time, he didn't lose. The second variant of the ninja realm Yuzhibo Fuyue turned his head to look at Beichen, who was nearly 1.9 meters tall, and asked, "Is this secret technique the reason why your body strength is so terrifying?" Yes. It has already been leaked by Goori's system, and Beichen did not conceal it. He nodded generously. After all, this technique doesn't have much attacking ability, and leaking it out is just letting others know that one's physical fitness is very strong. The elder next to him also sighed, "I see, we always thought you were developing faster." Yeah. It seems that we haven't paid much attention to you in recent years. I didn't expect us, Yuzhibo, to have a hidden dragon like you. The second elder beside us also agreed. Chapter 5. Confident Uchiha Itachi. Seeking fresh flowers. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Feeling the revered gaze of the people, Beichen felt a bit ethereal in his heart. Only Yuzhibo Itachi, standing in the corner, was still looking at Beichen with hostile eyes. It is not difficult to see Beichen's attitude towards the village from the video. The stronger the strength of Beichen, the greater the harm it poses to the village. Thinking of opening a kaleidoscope, Uchiha Itachi felt much more at ease in his heart. But it doesn't matter. In front of my eyes, no matter how terrifying your talent is, it's not worth mentioning. If you dare to harm the village, then don't blame me for not showing respect for your family. Thinking of this, Uchiha Itachi continued to watch the video in his mind. The video is still constantly advancing. Mai and Yunin have ceased hostilities, and the war is over. But the relationship between Kiba and Uchiha is getting worse and worse. Yuzhibo Itachi's personality is becoming increasingly extreme and also becoming increasingly confused. At this point, Uchiha Itachi no longer viewed the issue from the perspective of the family, but rather from the perspective of Hokage regarding the issues of the village and family. All of this was just because the great Lord Hokage in his mind praised him for having Hokage thinking at a young age. In the eyes of Uchiha Itachi, except for a few individuals, everything else in the family is unreasonable. It was also in that year that Uchiha Itachi opened the second Goyu Sharingan. This year, Uchiha Itachi is 8 years old. 8-year-old heir Goyu, this qualification. He truly deserves to be the Yuzhibo Itachi. Although this guy is crazy, one thing cannot be denied is that his qualifications are really terrifying. No wonder the video compares these two people, one with exceptional aptitude and the other with exceptional talent. Now it is known why two comparisons are made in comparison videos. So what are the so-called Usurpation Night and Extermination Night ghosts? What are these major events? Is it that the families of the two protagonists have been destroyed? You fart upstairs. How could our Uchiha be wiped out? We are the strongest family in the ninja world. That's right. Even if we don't have the water stop, we still have the young clan leader and the Beichen lord. Our Yuzhibo is still the strongest. This time, Uchiha from the first primitive ninja realm couldn't accept it. Their world doesn't have Uchiha Beichen, isn't it? The family could be destroyed. Looking at the barrage of bullets sent by Uchiha, Beichen pursed his lips. Don't say it anymore. If I don't show up, the one who killed you would be the Uchiha Itachi in your mouth. Beichen had already noticed that Yuzhibo was really rich in neurosis. This point, outsiders really didn't say anything nonsense. The main culprits behind Yuzhibo's extermination were 3 people. The spiritual dwarf Yuzhibo Jishue successfully led Yuzhibo Itachi onto the path of madness. The Xiaozi, Yuzhibo Itachi, is the main combat force for exterminating the clan and the greatest lunatic. Heading the god of war, Yuzhibo, with the earth, is the mastermind behind the extermination of the clan, and a neurosis in the midst of neurosis. If one of these three people is less, there will be no such thing as extermination. Looking at the praises of his son from the people below, as the father of Uchiha Itachi, Uchiha Fuyue also felt a little happy in his heart. However, when he thought that his son was comparing the goods next to him, Yuzhibo Fuyue felt a little uneasy. If Yuzhibo Beichen and Yuzhibo Itachi were to run for clan chief now, he could be very confident that the decision to lose the election would be for his own son. There's no way, Itachi's but in the video is really crooked. I shouldn't have let him go to the dark side. Yuzhibo Fuyue deeply regretted it in his heart. What I regret even more is letting Yuzhibo stop water and teach my son. Who could have thought that Uchiha's idea of stopping water was so bizarre? Not right. Although Yuzhibo Jishue leans towards the village, at least he doesn't dislike his own family. But my own son Sai. It's hard to say in a single word. Yuzhibo Fuyue, whose face was somewhat sad, once again turned his gaze to the video. The timeline of the video is still slowly advancing. Yuzhibo Itachi is also becoming increasingly isolated, and in his own family, apart from his family and Jishue, he has almost no friends. The only one willing to approach Uchiha Itachi is just an 8-year-old little girl. Yuzhibo Chuan. The girl in the original plot who had a crush on Uchiha Itachi. But in the world changed by the traveler, Uchiha Izumi does not have a licking dog like Uchiha Itachi. In the timeline of Beichen, Yuzhibo Chuan licks Beichen. The second variant of the ninja realm at home, Yuzhibo Chuan pursed his lips and looked at himself on the screen with great displeasure. To be precise, it is oneself on another timeline. The self in the other world is simply too foolish. What's so good about the cold Uchiha Itachi? And his thoughts are so dangerous that he can't compare to Beichen Jun at all. Thinking of Beichen's sunny smile and the talent that shocked the entire ninja world, Yuzhibo Chuan felt extremely happy in his heart. Sunshine is handsome and gentle, but most importantly, his talent is still so good. Beichen Jun is indeed the most perfect Uchiha. The first primitive ninja realm Yuzhibo Chuan looked at the video in his mind with some confusion. In another world, I should be very happy about myself, right? I can actually like such a perfect person. Thinking of this, Yuzhibo Chuan felt a bit confused. Compared to the almost perfect Beichen, disregarding the family, the extreme personality of Uchiha Itachi seems to have little attraction. What? After the male god aura of Uchiha Itachi was shattered, many shortcomings were revealed. Uchiha Izumi, who had only been secretly in love with Uchiha Itachi for a while, actually felt that Uchiha Itachi was just like that. The video is still advancing, this is the youthful love of youth. However, Uchiha Izumi from two worlds actually fell in love with different people. What's wrong with this world? Some people even like Yuzhibo Itachi, a neurotic person. Upstairs, do you know what it means to be handsome and be able to do whatever you want? Indeed. One thing has to be admitted, Yuzhibo is really rich in handsome guys. However, Yuzhibo Itachi is not as handsome as Yuzhibo Beichen, and truly deserves to be the most talented person. What's so strange about this? In another world, there is no Uchiha Beichen, and it's normal for Uchiha Quan to blindly like Uchiha Itachi. Looking at the barrage, Beichen's mouth slightly curled up, and then calmly glanced at Yuzhibo Itachi in the corner. Isn't it normal for Uchiha Izumi not to like Uchiha Itachi in his own world? This guy actually stole my daughter. Lol. Yuzhibo Fuyue looked at Beichen next to him with some displeasure. Quan knows that little girl, and it's not an exaggeration for her to say she's the most talented girl in contemporary Uchiha. According to the tradition of intermarriage within the Uchiha family, Quan a maiden is definitely the best marriage partner, not one of them. Such a good daughter. Law inexplicably ran away with someone. No one can bear this matter. Of course, Uchiha Itachi does not think so. Women. That thing will only affect the speed of opening one's eyes. In my eyes, only I, Ododo. Chapter 6. The Gap with the Right Person. 8-year-old Sango. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. As they grow older, their attitude towards handling things becomes more and more apparent. Firstly, there is the Uchiha Itachi, which is completely a lone wolf. In the family, he does not cooperate with the people within the family, and in the village, he does not cooperate with the people in the village. The only person he knows is the white moonlight, Yuzhibo, and Ji Shui in his heart. Seeing this, everyone in the ninja world is lost. Are geniuses really lonely? This Uchiha Itachi is too unsociable, isn't he? Upstairs. If it were you, would you be willing to make friends with people like Uchiha Itachi? That's reasonable. This guy's personality is so extreme that it's outrageous. How could a normal person be willing to make friends with such people? The funniest thing is that even though he is already a proud group and cannot integrate into the so-called village, he still stands at the highest point of morality and points fingers at his own people. I would like to call him the strongest double-standard dog. The second variant is the ninja realm. Looking at the obvious mocking barrage, Yuzhibo Fuyue suddenly turned his head and stared at Beichen intently. That's right, this guy is pacing again. Feeling the gaze of Fuyue, Beichen jokingly asked in response, Your Highness, don't value me so much. I was just saying a fair word. You're such a big person and still don't want anyone to say what you've done yourself. The elder next to him nodded in agreement and said, Your son's thinking is indeed problematic. Over the years, the family's resources have been wasted. The thought of family cultivation and the resources and relationships that do not need to be wasted makes the elder feel a pang of heartache. Really? Kind enough to feed the dog. The second elder of the radical faction cursed in a low voice, What a pity. Our young clan leader is a genius, which was originally a good thing, but it turned out to be a white-eyed wolf. Listening to these mockery, Yuzhibo Fuyue clenched his fist and wanted to refute. But when he saw the son in the corner who was out of place with the tribe, Fuyue felt like a deflated ball and didn't make any other struggles. There's no way, who didn't teach his son well. Looking at Fuyue lying flat, Beichen pursed his lips. It can only be said that one's own wrongdoing cannot survive. Yuzhibo Itachi has become the current loser, and as a father, he has an inescapable responsibility. After all, which serious person would send their 4-year-old son to the battlefield? The first primitive ninja realm. Fuyue's face turned pale with iron, and his right hand tightly grasped the handle of the chair, trembling slightly. He has seen his own son's double standards today. What? Although he was also a loser, the little brat only felt that his tribe had a problem and didn't even think about whether he was worthy or not. And just because of the phrase, Hokage thinking, do you really consider yourself a Hokage? Your family has been raising you for free these years. So many people in your family are praising you, why haven't you looked up at your family members? Others do not know the thoughts of their own clan leader, as there is no Uchiha Beichen in this world. If Beichen were here, he would definitely sneer endlessly. Yuzhibo is originally a very pure ninja tribe, and their bones are still engraved with the ideas left over from the Warring States period. This idea is called the supremacy of the strong. Yuzhibo is very pure. As long as you have the ability, Yuzhibo is willing to listen to you and admires you very much. He respects you very much. Uchiha Itachi, who grew up in the praise of his tribe, doesn't think the masters who praise him are any strong people. In the heart of the young Uchiha Itachi, Hokage is the true powerhouse. So Uchiha Itachi is more willing to listen to the opinions of Hokage, who is stronger than himself, and also hopes to receive Hokage's recognition. God knows how proud he was when the third generation of Huiying praised him for his Huiying thinking. This kind of thing engraved in his bones unconsciously affects Uchiha Itachi, even he himself is not aware of it. The video is still constantly moving forward. At the age of 8, Beichen shifted his research direction to the study of yin and yang. To study the yin-yang two escapes, it is necessary to understand them, and the most outstanding representatives of yin-yang two escapes are Uchiha, Qianshou, and Vortex. Yin Dun doesn't need to look for anyone else. He is already Yuzhibo. If you want to open his eyes, Beichen thought of the little girl who was about his age but had already opened his eyes. So Beichen took the initiative to find the little girl. Yuzhibo agreed without hesitation when she heard that her male god needed his help. Even if Beichen said there might be some danger, Yuzhibo remained unwavering. So the two of them lived a very greasy and crooked life together. In the process of getting tired of each other, Beichen unexpectedly discovered the ultimate secret of writing will eyes. At the age of 8.5, Uchiha Beichen mastered the ultimate secret to opening and enhancing the Sharingan. Unfortunately, the so-called ultimate secret in the video was only briefly depicted, and everyone had no idea what it was. Just when the audience doubts whether this so-called ultimate secret really exists. In the video, Yuzhibo relied on the so-called ultimate secret to elevate Yiguyu to Sanguyu in less than half a year. Beichen also opened his own writing will eye through this, although it was just a jade hook. Looking at the two pairs of writing will eyes in the video, people from both worlds can't sit still. It is really meaningful for the Uchiha family to enable and enhance the Sharingan in bulk. The second variant is the ninja realm. Everything that Fuyue had painted jumped up from the chair, and then he looked incredulously at Beichen sitting calmly on the chair. This guy? Fuyue asked incredulously, You really have mastered the ultimate secret of Uchiha. Why don't you report such a big deal to me? The nearby elders also looked at Beichen with fiery eyes, as if they were looking at some rare treasure. Being able to elevate the Sharingan of 1 Goyu to 3 Goyu within 6 months. What is the difference between this and batch manufacturing? Don't think that Shangren is a big cabbage. The total number of upper ninjas in the entire my village is probably not more than 100, even Yuzhibo's upper ninjas are only a dozen or so. Mass production of Uchiha ninjas, now Uchiha has a total of 379 ninjas. Even if only half of them become Uchiha ninjas, overthrowing Kiba would be an easy task. Chapter 7. The benefits of following the male god, let another. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. A group of senior executives from Yuzhibo are all immersed in fantasies about a better future. Unfortunately, Beichen coldly crushed all their fantasies. Don't look at me like that. I won't hand over this thing, I don't have the habit of cultivating a white-eyed wolf. You wouldn't think that Yuzhibo's white-eyed wolf was only Yuzhibo Itachi, would you? After finishing speaking, Beichen gave Yuzhibo Itachi a disdainful glance. Within the Uchiha clan, there are not only Uchiha Itachi and Jishue, but also some mentally disabled individuals who are willing to believe in the fire will of the monkey flying sun slash. The cunning monkey flying sun slaying cannot absolutely believe in Itachi and Jishue. Seeing Beichen refuse, and still refuse in this way, Fuyue gritted his teeth and looked hesitant to speak. The other elders exchanged a glance and were also pondering how to gain the trust of Beichen. After all, the ultimate secret of Yuzhibo held by Beichen is too important for Yuzhibo. As for forcing Beichen to reveal the so-called ultimate secret. Don't tease me. If Yuzhibo really does such a thing, the one who laughs the happiest will definitely be Ape Flying Sun slash. 8-year-old Beichen already has the ability to endure. Who knows how terrifying 12-year-old Beichen is now? Forcing. Isn't that a suicide? Huiying office Ape Flying Sun slash's face turned pale as he grabbed the cigarette stick and continuously exhaled white smoke. It's too scary. It's really scary. The talent of this Uchiha Beichen is too terrifying. Compared to the talented Uchiha Itachi, the monkey flying sun / discovered that Uchiha Beichen was the real heartache. A talented Uchiha is not scary, what's scary is that he can radiate his talents to others. Just like the little girl in the video who started Sengoku at the age of 8, Yuzhibo. 8-year-old Shangren. And it was also artificially created, not to mention him, even the senior executives of other ninja villages were shocked. Pop. The tightly closed office door was opened, and Tuanzhaifeng walked in with a cane upright. Sun / Yuzhibo and Beichen must be handed over to me. He is definitely the biggest unstable factor of my. Give it to me, and I will make him the sharpest weapon in the village. When Tuanzang arrived at the office, he immediately spoke the essence. Batch opening of Sharingan may seem like a powerful force in the eyes of others, but in the eyes of Tuanzang, they are resurrection coins. Thinking about the population of Uchiha, when I hold hundreds of resurrection coins, who in the entire ninja world can do anything about me? When the time comes to become Hokage, isn't having hands enough? So no matter what method you use, you must control Yuzhibo Beichen in your own hands. Tuanzang watched with excitement as the monkey flying sun / almost knelt down and begged. Upon hearing the old man's request, Ape Flying Sun couldn't hold back. Looking directly at Tuanzang with an idiotic gaze. The monkey flying sun asked tentatively, what exactly caused you to have this illusion? Why do you think I can decide the northern star of the Uzi wave? It is not difficult to see from that damn video that Yuzhibo Beichen has no fire will in his heart, let alone his fiery shadow. Ape Flying Sun / dares to guarantee that as long as he dares to speak up, Yuzhibo Beichen dares to pull Yuzhibo to rebel. Previously, Yuzhibo Beichen may not have the same appeal, but after experiencing the promotion of so-called comparative videos, Ape Flying Rigian has no doubt about Beichen's appeal. Upon hearing the soul's questioning, Tuanzang, who was originally enthusiastic, stood in place in a daze, staring foolishly at his old buddy. But still unwilling to give up, Tuanzang urged, "It's okay, leave this matter to me, I can definitely." "Stop talking. No matter what, let's wait until the comparison video ends. You should know that the cosmic wave on the screen, Beichen, is only 8 years old, and we have to face a 12-year-old. The monkey flying sun / reminded me meaningfully. He does want to eliminate Beichen quickly, but he is much more sober than Tuanzang. The comparison video is still ongoing, and Beichen may even expose more intelligence. If they take action after the video ends, their chances will only be greater." The first primitive ninja realm. The people of Yuzhibo looked incredulously at Beichen on the screen. The 6 immortals are unfair. Why isn't such a heavenly pride from our world? Yeah. I envy Uchiha from another world so much. The secret technique of opening and improving the Sharingan in bulk is really enviable. Did you see that little girl? The spring in our world is now 12 years old, and it's only a jade willow, right? The spring in another world is 8 years old and has 3 jade wheels. This is the benefit of following the right person. Look at the North Star of their world, and then compare it with our young clan leader. It's indescribable. The Uchiha spring in another world is so happy. In the corner, Uchiha Itachi lowered his head and listened to the discussions of his tribe with a pitch-black face. Yuzhibo Itachi clenched his fists and trembled slightly, while Goyu in his eyes kept spinning like a windmill. Even though it's usually very cold, Uchiha Itachi has now directly broken through the defense. There is really no harm without comparison. Originally, he was supposed to be the true pride of heaven, but when compared, now he is almost being shouted at by everyone. A group of foolish guys. When you know I'm opening a kaleidoscope, you'll know who the real genius is. Yuzhibo Itachi muttered to himself in a low voice, gritting his teeth. At the home of Yuzhibo. Due to his young age and limited ability, Yuzhibo was not qualified to participate in the clan's meetings. Yuzhibo had been watching the video in his mind at home. Looking at the other person in the video who, with the help of a male god, started Sengoku at the age of 8, let's compare ourselves. A feeling of envy or even some jealousy surged from the bottom of my heart. How enviable. Yuzhibo looked enviously at himself in another world. The second variant is the ninja realm. After calming the excited tribe members, Beichen sat down and breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, this video only briefly depicts the scientific eye-opening scene and does not reveal much information. The principle of scientific eye-opening is actually quite simple. Yuzhibo's open-minded requirements are actually 2 points. Long-term continuous generation of positive emotions, followed by a burst of extremely strong negative emotions in a short period of time, combined with the yin attribute of chakra to produce a special energy conversion into pupil force, thereby stimulating eye-opening. Understanding love and losing it is also why second-generation Hokage believes that people who have opened their eyes to Uchiha are more extreme. What? This sudden reversal of bipolar emotions can easily turn some people into lunatics. The most typical representative is the Yuzhibo belt soil. Chapter 8. Beichen's Roast, the Iceberg of Leaves of Wood. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The second variant of the ninja realm Yuzhibo looked at herself and Beichen on the screen with a blush on her face. She didn't expect this incident to be exposed. Yuzhibo rolled on the tatami and complained proudly, "What? It's too embarrassing to let such things go, isn't it? Will others envy him? After all, Beichen Jun is really perfect. I don't know if I, who lives in another world, would envy me. After all, Uchiha Itachi is not a man worth entrusting to." Fortunately, the video hasn't been exposed much either. The Goyu in his eyes spun wildly, and Yuzhibo once again focused his attention on the video. In the video with the passage of time, Beichen's research on Yin Dun has become increasingly profound, but no progress has been made in the study of Yang Dun. In the video, Beichen searched the entire tree leaf in order to find villagers with a bloodline of 1,000 hands. However, sadly, apart from Gangsho, there are no surviving members of the Qianshou tribe. Standing on the Huiying rock, Beichen looked down at the village from a high position. After searching for more than a week, he secretly checked Kiba and found that almost all non-family ninjas had not found their bloodline. Beichen's mentality collapsed. Those old immortals are really ruthless. At least they are also from their own teacher's family, and they really don't leave any of them. What? In the video, Beichen was so angry that his teeth itched and he even cursed on Huiying Rock. What do you mean? Listen to the kid's roast, the whole wood leaf has no blood of 1,000 hands. The old guy in this little ghost's mouth, isn't it the high-level ones like Kiba? I remember their teacher was the second-generation Mu Qianshou Kaima. None left. The senior Mai is really dark-hearted. As the kid roast, it's his teacher's family anyway. These people are really ruthless when they start. Huiying office the ape flies day to cut. Looking at the screen, Beichen's roast is also a bit awkward. At the beginning, Mu Dun's plan to restart did indeed sacrifice a group of 1,000 armed ninjas, but he clearly remembered that he still had a group of talents left behind. After all, at least it's his own teacher's family, and he really deliberately left a group of people as the seeds of 1,000 hands. However, what made Ape Flying Sun / even more displeased was that Beichen knew about these things at a young age, and there was no respect for his Hokage in his words. Sure enough, this damn Uchiha evil little devil. He has no fire shadow will in his heart, and keeping it will eventually be a disaster. Thinking of this, the monkey Flying Sun suddenly noticed and turned his head to look at Tuanzang sitting in the corner. You guy. You haven't stopped the Mu Dun revival plan, have you? Did the remaining 1,000 hands die at the root? Ape Flying Sun stared fiercely at Tuanzang in the corner. He is too aware of his old buddy, and in terms of not being a good person, the other person is even worse than himself. Tuanzang, who was stared at by the monkey flying sun, was not panicked at all. Instead, he calmly asked, "You should be grateful that I didn't terminate the plan. Isn't Jia with you? Without the sacrifices of those 1,000 hands later on, do you think Jia can still be born?" Faced with Tuanzang's rhetorical question, Ape Flying Rigian felt a bit awkward. With a slightly weak tone, Ape Flying Rigian complained weakly, "At least it's also the teacher's family. Can't you keep a seed?" Tuanzang replied expressionlessly, "Isn't there a compass? Monkey Flying Sun / Dot. And. You should be grateful that I killed all the Qianshou. If that evil little ghost from Beichen really found the descendants of Qianshou, do you think with his talent, could he create something even more terrifying than Mu Dun? There's nothing wrong with that." Monkey Flying Sun / deeply felt the same feeling in his heart. The talent of Yuzhibo Beichen is indeed too terrifying, and what is even more terrifying is the opponent's forbearance. If it weren't for this comparison video, he probably wouldn't have been in the dark even now. He wouldn't have known that Beichen's talent would be so demonic, let alone that Beichen already knew the filth beneath his shining exterior. Thinking of this, Ape Flying Sun Slayer was actually a little relieved in his heart, grateful that all the 1,000 hands had been tricked and killed behind the group hiding. Gangzhou looked at Beichen's roast in the video, smiled bitterly, and then filled himself with a bottle of wine. Doesn't she know the darkness of the leaves? Of course she knows. But some darkness is necessary, it's for the village. Everything is for the sake of the village, this is definitely a universal excuse. It was with this excuse that Kiba F4 was able to do whatever he wanted in the village. No matter how dirty the means are, as long as they are crowned with the name of righteousness, it is bright and great. In this world where the average person is illiterate, such methods are truly versatile. So confused, she chose to run away from home. Yuzhibo Beichen. I'm really becoming more and more interested in you. Drunk and hazy, Gangzhou looked at Beichen on the screen and muttered to himself foolishly. Shine Village. Having always felt that his heart was dark, the fourth-generation Fengying Luo Sha recognized the darkness in the high-level management of Mu Yi and compared his own immoral actions over the years. Luo Sha was surprised to find that it was not her own lack of virtue, but that every village had its own darkness, and that was still necessary. All of this is for the village. Just look at Kiba and you'll know that beneath her radiant exterior lies such darkness, let alone other ninja villages. Thinking of this, Luo Sha felt that the test of my love for Luo should be even colder. Stimulated by the talent of the Uchiha Gemini, Luo Sha's eyes turned extremely red and he decided to be even stricter with his son. Beichen didn't even know that he had accidentally tricked me, AI Luo. At this moment, he was anxiously looking at himself on the screen. Damn it! Is that matter about to be exposed? Kneeling down and begging for the support of all the big shots, if you have any ideas, you can leave a message in the comment section. Chapter 9. The Vortex Fragrant Phosphorus that has changed its destiny. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Thinking of what he had hidden, Beichen's face couldn't help but feel a bit heavy. The video is still constantly advancing. 8-year-old Yuzhibo Beichen, after searching the village but not finding any members of the Qianshou tribe, finally turned his gaze to the outside of the village. Vortex Ninja Clan. As a traveler, Beichen's first thought of the Vortex Ninja was not Changmen, but the Vortex Fragrant Phosphorus mother and daughter of Charan village. Beichen has always been an activist. After asking for a certificate of leaving the village from Orochimaru, Beichen secretly left the village and came to Charan village. At the age of only 8, Beichen already has the strength of Shangren. In Charan village, where the strongest are only Shangren, it cannot be said that he can do whatever he wants, but he can also come and go freely. In this way, Beichen rescued their blood pack, Vortex Chana, and prepared their blood pack, Vortex Siang Phosphorus from Charan village. I won't write about the specific process. I will compare the vortex of the two worlds later and write about it later. After bringing back the whirlpool fragrant Phosphorus mother and daughter from Charan village, Beichen settled them in his own home as maids. From then on, there were 2 more red-haired maids in the Beichen family, and a pair of hard-working mother and daughter were missing from the ninja realm. Bastard. It turned out that the guy from Konoha stole our medical ninja from Kushinobu. Konoha, give us an explanation. Exactly. Do you know how miserable our village would be without medical ninjas? Damn Uchiha. No wonder Hokage hates you and actually takes away the ninjas from their village. What? Bastard Yuzhibo. My elder brother died because he didn't receive timely treatment. Yuzhibo, Beichen, I want you to taste your life. The second variant is the ninja realm. The mother and daughter of Vortex Fragrant Phosphorus looked angrily at the barrage on the screen, recalling their mother's tragic experience in Charan village. Bastards from Charan village. I'll go kill them now. The furious whirlpool Fragrant Phosphorus wanted to go to Charan village to retrieve the venue. If it weren't for the pressure from Beichen these years, she would have gone to seek revenge long ago. Upon seeing this, Vortex Xiangnai quickly stopped Vortex sighing Phosphorus and comforted her by saying, "Have you forgotten your adult's advice? You don't want to disappoint your adult either." After listening to her mother's advice, the Vortex Fragrant Phosphorus finally calmed down. Compared to revenge, she didn't want to disappoint Beichen. Huiying office, Vortex clan, those 2 people should still be in Uchiha, right? The monkey flying sun/'s eyes flashed with a flash of light. As is well known, the members of the Vortex family can be said to have innate human pillar strength. Although Kiba has Naruto, having 2 extra insurances is always good. This is an opportunity. A great opportunity to challenge Yuzhibo. Tuanzang looked excitedly at his old buddy. As he watched as he was eager to try Tuanzang, Ape Flying Sun Zhan comforted him with a serious tone and said, "Wait a little longer. Let's wait until we finish watching the video. Anyway, those 2 women from the Vortex clan are still with Yuzhibo and won't be able to escape for a while." Beichen snatched people from other ninja villages, which has already touched the bottom line of many ninja villages. Afterwards, this is indeed a good excuse to make a fuss. He believes that other families of Kiba will stand on his side when the time comes, and as long as the entire Kiba is still on his side, Uchiha will not be afraid. The first primitive ninja realm. The Vortex Fragrant Phosphorus, covered in bruises and bruises, looked enviously at another self whose fate was completely different from hers. "This is great, my mother has also been saved, and I don't have to go through that kind of hell torture." Vortex Fragrant Phosphorus looked at her other self with envy, even feeling a little jealous in her heart. Envy why there isn't a man named Yuzhibo Beichen in this world, envy why that man didn't save him. The second variant of the ninja realm Yuzhibo Fuyue looked at Beichen thoughtfully. After hesitating for a while, Yuzhibo Fuyue spoke up and reminded him. "Originally, the 2 red-haired maids in your family are from the Whirlpool tribe, but if this matter is exposed, it will be very troublesome. Whether in or outside the village, they may use this matter as an excuse." Looking at Yuzhibo Fuyue hesitating, Beichen's face turned black. In the eyes of Beichen, Yuzhibo Fuyue is a low-end version of the monkey flying sun/. Having a small family without a large family, good strategy without interruption, do great things at the expense of your body, and forget your life when you see small gains. Beichen commented, "This person is not suitable for being a clan leader. If such a person is just an ordinary person, it's okay. If it's the leader of a clan, it's definitely the tragedy of that clan. Even more sadly, this guy is now the head of the Uchiha clan." Beichen glanced coldly at the other person and warned coldly, "It's best not to speak up about your thoughts, otherwise I don't mind letting you know what despair is." Handing over the Whirlpool Fragrant Phosphorus mother and daughter. How could this be possible? Seeing Beichen threatening him so blatantly, Yuzhibo Fuyue's face turned red with anger. Why does this guy blame himself when he's clearly doing it for the good of his family? Is it worth dragging the family into the abyss of war for two outsiders? This is not worth it. Bold. What are you saying? Do you still have me as the clan leader in your eyes? Do you have any parents? Do you have a broader perspective? Looking at the enraged Yuzhibo Fuyue, Beichen sneered and said, "You." He. Looking at Beichen, who had completely disregarded himself, and comparing him with his own foolish son, Yuzhibo Fuyue's mentality instantly collapsed. The gloomy chakra spread, as if preparing to teach Beichen a lesson. Watching Yuzhibo Fuyue prepare to take action, several elders next to him quickly grabbed Yuzhibo Fuyue. Yuzhibo can change his clan leader or even die, but he must not lose Beichen. Calm down. Fuyue, don't be impulsive. That's right, that's right. Why are you arguing so much with a young man like Beichen when you're so big? Yeah. Beichen is just a child. How could he be like this? The bustling Fuyue with veins bulging on its forehead. What does it mean to be just a child? At the age of 12 in the ninja world, it's considered a useless child. Also, my son is not a child anymore. When you made people spread rumors about my son, you never thought Itachi was just a child. Although it's not a rumor, it's a fact. The farce on stage caught the attention of all Uchiha below. At this moment, Beichen also took the opportunity to stand in front of the platform and looked at the people below, shouting loudly. I think everyone has watched the video about me, and I just want to say one thing here. The mother and daughter of the Vortex Fragrant Phosphorus are from me. If anyone has the idea of sacrificing their mother and daughter for peace, I suggest you step forward now. Beichen's words brought silence to the audience, followed by thunderous cheers. We support Lord Beichen. That's it. How can we, the people of Yuzhibo, just say, hand it over? Even if Huiying comes, it won't work. Looking at the enthusiastic cheers below, Beichen nodded in satisfaction. This is why he is still staying at Uchiha and even wants to reverse Uchiha's fate. These people may have some mild mental illnesses, but they can't resist their purity. What they say is support, that's really unreserved support. It can be seen from the death of Uchiha in the two ninja wars. Chapter 10. Yuzhibo White-Eyed Wolf. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Damn it. There's a possibility of war in the village for one's own selfish desires. The Uchiha Itachi in the corner looked even more gloomy as he listened to the cheers of the people around him. Suppressing the urge to stand up and scold North, Uchiha Itachi continued to act as a humanoid monitor in the corner. The ninja's intuition told him that there should be a big event happening in this clan meeting, which could even affect the entire Kiba. Although I really want to leave here and stay away from these war lunatics who support Uchiha Beichen, for the sake of intelligence, I can only endure it now. The timeline in the video is constantly moving forward. The two have reached the age of 9, and compared to the low-key Yuzhibo Beichen, the high-profile Yuzhibo Itachi genius's name is circulating in the village. Finally Uchiha Itachi, who has always regarded himself as a genius, finally received the gaze of that person. That dark-wood leaf. I don't believe in Uchiha, and I hate Uchiha's genius Tanzang even more. I used my identity as the root leader to launch a forced conscription against Uchiha. Recruit the Uchiha junior clan leader to join the root. Before Uchiha Itachi, there was already a genius who joined the root, and that was Uchiha Mirror. The senior management of Uchiha, who knew the virtue of the root, held a small meeting overnight. At this moment, the senior management of Yuzhibo is facing two choices. The first is to let Uchiha Itachi join Kiba's security team, because according to Kiba's rules, Uchiha who joins the security team does not need to accept the village's call. The second is to pay some price and let Tuanzang know the difficulties and retreat. The ultimate result was that Uchiha refused Tuanzang's recruitment. In order to block the mouths of other ninja tribes, Uchiha had to sacrifice an upper ninja to join the root, while also sacrificing some family interests to approach Hokage. So, at the age of 9, Uchiha Itachi joined the dark side of Hokage. On this day, the Ju clan celebrated, but the little girl crying in the corner did not join in the celebration. That little girl's name is Uchiha Izumi, and the upper ninja who was sacrificed and added to the root is called Uchiha Izumi Lava, the father of Uchiha Izumi. In a few days bad news came from the roots, and Yuzhibo Lava unfortunately sacrificed himself while carrying out missions both domestically and internationally. With no bones left. On the other hand, Uchiha Itachi was still enjoying the cheers within his tribe and began to carry out missions in the dark. Due to the incident with the Uchiha Lava, another wave of turbulence has arisen within the Uchiha clan. The opposition within the Uchiha clan this time is against Gengen, and it is Tuanzang. They suspect that Tuanzang intentionally killed Uchiha Lava in order to retaliate against Uchiha Itachi for not joining the dark side. After returning from a mission in the dark, Uchiha Itachi only responded with a sneer and commented on the rebellion within his clan due to the sacrifice of an upper ninja. What a foolish and arrogant tribe. Other tribes can sacrifice, and those civilians can sacrifice. Why can't Uchiha sacrifice? As the dark leaf of the wood, the root carries out dangerous missions. When joining, there should be a sense of sacrifice. After the evaluation, Uchiha Itachi once again began to busy himself with the tasks assigned to Lord Hokage. Seeing this, all the audience felt extremely cold. What is this special thing? Is this what they sacrificed for you in exchange for? Without the consciousness of sacrifice. If it weren't someone else. You are the one who died, the white-eyed wolf. Yuzhibo Itachi. What a white-eyed wolf. I'm convinced. There are really many neuroses in Yuzhibo. How could such people be praised by their own people? Am I the only one who feels unworthy of that Uchiha Lava? Who could have thought that the genius that Yuzhibo had put in so much effort to cultivate was like this? Don't talk nonsense. My brother just doesn't know the truth before. Watching Sasuke's barrage, Uchiha Itachi also fell into deep self-doubt. He did not doubt the will of fire, but felt that he had misunderstood Uchiha Lava. He did not voluntarily join the root, and such a person died even less worthy of mentioning. The first primitive ninja realm, what an unnecessary move. Just let me add the roots, okay? So what about adding the roots? Isn't it the same as contributing to the leaves? Besides, brother Jishue is also there, and we happen to have some care for each other. Yuzhibo Itachi only felt that his father and his people were acting recklessly. It was so good to honestly let oneself go to the root, why did it cause so many misunderstandings? In that case, although I haven't joined the dark side and won't listen to so many theories about the will of fire, hehe. Is that so? Uchiha Itachi. Yuzhibo-chuan, who was staying at home, laughed sadly. It turned out that my father sacrificed himself for Uchiha Itachi, no wonder the clan chief treated me so well. Originally, all the gifts had already been secretly priced. Yuzhibo Fuyue was also a bit embarrassed. The reason why he didn't agree to let Yuzhibo Itachi enter the root, and even sacrificed the interests of his family and an upper ninja, was not only because Itachi was indeed a genius, but also because he was more selfish. No father wants his son to join the inhumane organization at the root. The second variant of the ninja realm, Master Fuyue, you are really a good father. Beichen looked at Yuzhibo Fuyue with a strange expression. Previously, he had always believed that no matter how stubborn Yuzhibo Fuyue was, he still had a family in his heart. The reason why Yuzhibo fell to this point was simply because of his lack of ability. As for which one is more important, my son or Uchiha? Yuzhibo Fuyue in the original plot has already given the answer, and Beichen did not expect anything. Beichen suddenly realized and looked at Yuzhibo Fuyue with a strange expression, saying, no wonder my 9-year-old rescue fund has increased from 300 taels to 2,000 taels. It turns out it's because of this. Yuzhibo Fuyue, who had a ghost in his heart, just smiled awkwardly. He didn't expect such things to be shown in the comparison video, and now Itachi's situation became even more awkward, along with himself. What did sacrificing the interests of the family and sacrificing the life of a high-ranking official bring in exchange? Dao. A butcher's knife that slaughters all the Manchus. This is really ironic. Looking at the Yuzhibo Itachi in the corner, Beichen's mouth slightly curled up, and his heart was even colder. Others may just think that Uchiha Itachi's but is not right, but as a traveler, how could he not know how fierce Uchiha Itachi was in the end? You father and son, you really are animals. Beichen looked at Yuzhibo Fuyue sincerely and sighed.